What's up guys, welcome back. So in this video we're going to be adding some buttons to help filter our auctions. So right now we just have just a long list of auctions. I'd like to see like only open auctions or maybe only finished auctions. There's sometimes I'd like to see both. So we're going to create like a little button at the top here to do that. And what I'm thinking for that is to create a little segment that looks like this. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to grab this segment here, and we're going to be working on not the auctions form. We can close that down. We can come on over here to, alright, so I'm going to import segment, and we're going to add a segment at the top of our content. And not at the top of our content actually, because we don't want it to move. Alright, we have a button here. Do we not have a button imported? Nope, we do not. So button. This list is getting pretty long. Eventually we're going to have to put it to a different line and bring it over. Alright, so let's just see if that does render and it looks nice. Alright, it does render. Looks decent. Okay, so now we basically just need to add a third button. So this is not first or last. It's just a middle one. See if that works. Awesome. Middle looks nice. So this will be, I guess, open. This will be both. This will be complete. And the first one should be active when we first come in here. So when I refresh this, alright, so we should just see open. And now what we want to do this is actually add it to our state and set some on-click stuff. So let's move this down so it's a little easier to work with. Okay, drop you down too. Okay, so we have our three buttons, and each button is going to have an on click. And I guess this will be this dot change. So I need to think of how I want to name a naming schema for this. I guess we'll say change button segment. No, it's a bad name. So right now it's open, both, complete. So what is this trying to say? I'm trying to think of a name. So when I click on open, it should update the state and pass in open. I guess we'll just say state. Or not state, change active segment. Okay. And then for this one it'll be open. So this dot prop. So this is a function we need to create change active state. So I'm going to copy you. And each button should be this. Okay. And you too. So here should be both. Open should be complete. So now we can create, I think we're going to create a new module for this. We can, I guess, copy auction. It's going to be semi-similar. Rename this. Now I'm going to call this, I guess, segment. Oops. We're going to delete all of these guys. We only need one right now. Change active segment. Change active segment. Okay, so that's our action. We're not going to have an API. Not going to have sagas for this. This is just a reducer. It's going to be change active segment. Can get rid of all that junk. Do we do that in, yeah. We can copy this because this is more of what our reducer is going to look like. Okay. We don't need a combine action, we just need to handle action. We don't need moment. Clean out all that stuff. Okay. And this we're going to call segment. And this is actually right. And the default will be open. Alright, so we're listening for change active segment. Whenever this action is called, we want to handle it. And to handle it, what we're going to do is we're just going to take the value that's passed in here. And let's unload you. And we're just going to pass that and make that the state. So if they pass in close, close will be the value. The default will be open, and that's pretty much all there is for a reducer. So just add that here. So we need to add this to our root reducer. Segment. Segment. And then now we can pull this in and get its value state.segment. And now to find what the active one is, we say active is equal to this dot props dot segment segment is equal to open. Okay. And we're going to do that for each one. It's good to have just the Boolean values like that at the end. Okay. This is listening for both. This is listening for complete. And the reason why we're putting this in the Redux store and not just doing like a local state is because we want to basically we just messed up the naming here. I want this to be, there we go. So yeah, what I was saying is the reason we're using, we're actually grabbing this from Redux, and the reason why we're doing this instead of, oh, we're getting an error, that's weird. But the reason why we're doing this instead of doing it locally is because we want this to be persisted as we change pages. So when it comes back, you have what you had before, and also, actually that's about it. It's just mainly you want to persist what the value of it is between page changes. Otherwise we do it locally and just do a state for this. Okay, so let's find out what this problem is though. How's our reducer looking? Reducer looks good. Casing. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Looks like we have something here. Casing of does not match the underlying file system. I just changed it though. I changed it to, so I'm going to go to terminal real quick and see if it is what it says. So I'm just going to tree source. You can see modules, segment. think I just need to refresh that. We don't need, segment looks good there. Okay, cool, that looks good now. And as always, the error here is super unhelpful what the problem is. It looks like, I'm guessing it has to do with this, like this.props.segment. Change active segment, is that the name? Maybe that's wrong. What'd I call it? Up, and that's the problem. We're not actually getting change active segment. That looks like it's probably the problem. Import change active segment. I just forgot to grab the action. This is from segment / actions. Cool. See if that was the only error. And it looks like it's not. We're loading. It looks like there's a problem with our auth required. So request auth. Let's go to sagas and let's do a console. Let's see what happens when we call auth here. Oh, we're already consoling the response. Yeah, what happens when we do that? Begin the user. I think it just doesn't like our, I don't think that actually the problem is that. Okay, we're good there. I think the problem is with our buttons. For example, if I kill the buttons, and I don't know, put some text. Hi. Is the problem with our buttons? Yep, problems with our buttons. So let's fix our buttons. So let's go down to one button and let's just keep, like I was talking to you guys earlier, I like to just keep simplifying it until we get what the problem is. Alright. So if I remove the on click, will you work? Yeah, you will. Okay, so the problem is with the on click? Ugh, on press. Making that mistake too many times now. Oh, that's not the only problem. On press of type objects applied to button. Oh man. There we go. I was just being silly. Like that. And let's make the spacing uniform here. So drop down. Okay. Okay. See how that looks. All right. And that's better. So now we actually want the functionality. And to sort this, we're going to use Lodash. Lodash is a JavaScript library that makes it just really nice. They give you a lot of extra features, not features, functions that make doing things easy. So the one in particular that we're going to be using is sort by. And as you can see, what it does here is it takes an array of objects, because we have an array of auctions, and then you can sort by one of the attributes. So for example, user or an age. That's what this is doing right here. So you can see Barney, Barney, Fred, Fred. And you can notice how it does it. Actually, sorry, we're not using sort. We need to filter. There we go. Same thing. You can filter by, we're going to see how they're doing filter by active. We're going to filter by, what's it called? What's our property? Open and complete. Yeah, except it's not open and complete. We're just checking if the expiration date is complete. Or not the expiration date, what's it called? Time left. If the time left is done, then we're not showing it. Alright, with that said, let's go ahead and do it. So it'll make more sense when you see it. If I probably didn't explain that well. So we need to add Lodash. So yarn add Lodash will do that for us. At the top here, we can import from Lodash. You could do the name Lodash here, but most people do an underscore like that, and I like that as well. So we're going to come down here to our auctions, and just before we map it, we're going to filter. Is it filter by? Nope, it's straight up filter. We're filtering auctions, and we're filtering time left, and we're looking for, just to show you how this works, we'll hard code the values. So complete so notice how they're all complete. And can we do not complete? Okay, we're gonna have to do it like that. And we make a function. Okay. So we're gonna have to do an if statement here. So if this dot props dot segment is equal to complete, then that's what we'd like to show. And we're just going to do this 3 times. And then for complete, what else was there? Open both. So if there's both, we actually don't need to do any filtering. We just map. And then for this one, we're going to say auction is not equal, auction.time left is not equal to complete. And that'll get us all the open ones. Alright, so these are our 3 ones. When it's the segment is complete, what we're going to show is all the complete ones. So we're doing filter, we're looking at the attribute time left and getting all the ones that are complete. If it's open, we're gonna filter, and the function we do the check is if it's not equal to complete. And then if it's both, we don't even have to do any type of filtering. We just go ahead and do it how we were doing before. All right. So now with open, we only see 3 and we don't see any closed. If I come on to complete over here, I see all these complete ones. And if I do both, I see everything. Okay, so we have this nice little segment now. That's it for this video. And the next one, what we're going to do is we're going to do some sorting. So now I can maybe see the like the soonest, like this is going to expire before this one. I like to see this at the top. So I'd like to see the expiration dates that are ticking down, about to finish, and vice versa. So that's what we'll be doing next, and I'll see you then.